Hello and welcome to my Tarot Corner and welcome to a palette cleanser reading. Now, I'm not sure that I will be doing that every week, but you are more than welcome to send me ideas for more palette cleansing reading if you are getting tired of reading about the royal family. And this is I owe a great thanks to one of my subscribers who did not relent and kept on pushing this item, this subject, and sent me more and more information about it. And today I decided that I am reading about it no matter what, and the sparkles can, well, they can jump in for all I care. I am going to post a very short video later on, and I really urge all of you to watch it. It is a very short clip by Mark Twain, and it is very relevant to all of us today. So I think that all of you should watch it, and I won't say anything about it. Just because it's really interesting to watch. So it's really very short. I will watch it later on. I will post it later on. So this reading is about the candidates to the next James Bond movies. The last James Bond is giving back the keys. And right now, his name slipped my mind. Just one moment. Daniel Craig. Okay, sorry. So I have here the list of all of the James Bonds that are, or all of the actors that are candidates for to be a James Bond. There are actually 9 candidates, and even one woman, and most of them are English or Scottish. And I have this notebook near me because I wrote a few words about each of them, just so I can describe them for you, a few words about each of them. I don't know all of them. So the ones that I know, then I can tell you that I watched them in the past, and I can tell you what I think about them, but most of them I don't know. So without further ado, I will tell you how this reading is going to be conducted. For those of you who haven't seen the sliding doors readings, it's kind of a gypsy reading in which I am taking 5 cards for each candidate, and then I am kind of comparing the cards for each of them. Each candidate has a card for the past, the present, future, reasons, and the results, which the results is actually the potential. But the future card is the most significant card, so we usually look at the future card for each of them, and that is the most important card to look at, who has the strongest future card. But still, we need to look at the rest of the cards as well. The past card has double meaning when we're talking at the first past card, and I will explain it when I am taking the cards. So before I start, please take a few moments to read my full disclaimer on the description box. In the description box, this is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumption and speculation, and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourself. So when I was looking at what kind of deck to use, I decided to use a deck that is following a television series. This is the Supernatural um, television deck. This is a peep deck. I don't like peep decks very much. I do have this deck, so I am going to use it because it is a modern kind of deck, and it is something that connects to television, cinema, and I think it's a good deck to try to use for this reading. So let's start by clearing the deck. And what I'm doing now is I'm asking the universe to show me the best, to align the cards to show me which is the best option for the next James Bond role. So please align the cards in the best way to answer who is the best actor to fill the next James Bond role from the options that I'm giving you. Please align the cards in the right way to answer which of the next actors is the best option for the James Bond role. Who is the best option for the James Bond role? So as always with gypsy readings, I'm only cutting once. Okay, so the first candidate is James Norton. He's a British. He played in Happy Valley and in one of the latest War and Peace adaptations. He's a redhead, by the way. And the first card is the past card. Now the past card is, so the first card is the past card. Now, and the past card is the card of, that shows us not only, it shows us in this instance what are the studios are looking for for the James Bond role, and that is true for all of the candidates, not only for James Norton. So this is meaning is true for all of them, and we get it for the first past card. And the second the second meaning, which is unique for James Norton, is the way he adapts to what the studios want for the James Bond role. So that is the past card. That is the present card. When the present card is telling us, first of all, what is James Norton is looking for, and how much he wants the part. Then we get the future card, which is telling us let's say how possible it is that he will get the card, the part. Sorry. Then we get the reasons. And the reasons, it's actually the challenges or what is stopping him from getting the part. And then we get the potential, which says how the potential for him is does he have a good potential or a bad potential to win this role. And once again, it is if both of these cards, the future and the potential, are good cards, then it is strengthening his ability to win this role. If it's still the future card is stronger. So let's start with the past card, and the past card is death. So, first of all, the studios want a person that is completely different from the people that portrayed James Bond in the past. They want change. Death Card is a completely different type of person. They don't want someone who who will portray Bond the same way the same way that it was portrayed in the past. They want a completely changed way, and in this instance, it's telling us that. It does tell us that James Norton has ability to adapt to this change, but this is the main instance here that the studios want a completely different type of James Bond. They don't want the same person, the same kind of person. They don't want the same kind of portrayal. They want a different approach. Okay, so the present is, what does James Norton want? Does he want the part? And we're getting the devil. So the devil card tells us that James Norton is not so keen for this part. The devil is a very bad card. This is a card of darkness, of a lot of things that are disturbing him. So he's not looking at this card as this job as his dream job. And I suppose that he has other things that are distracting him. So this card doesn't say that he is the devil. This is not a card this is not this kind of reading. It shows his approach to the part, and his approach to the part is that he is not keen to play James Bond. So he will not try to adapt himself to what the studios are looking for. Someone asked me why do my hands tremor, and I did tell you that I have a neurological disease. It does cause tremor, and I do have take a lot of medication that cause tremor as well. So that is why I'm trying to hold the cards in a way that they will not shake. So that is James Norton's attitude towards this part. The future, which tells us whether or not he will get this job, this part, is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a queen that is more someone that wants things stable, wants things that are she doesn't adapt to changes, or is someone that is able to withstand changes, although she is a very stable person, and someone who's very good in everything that is connected to monetary. But it is a court card, and court cards are always it's not a very high probability, but we need to look at the other cards, at the other actors to determine whether or not it is it's stronger or weaker than theirs. So what are his challenges? And his challenges is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a card of doubts. So he's doubting whether or not this is something that he really wants to do. That is why we got the Devil in the past. This is also a card that shows that he's not sure that he wants it. He's not sure that this is something that will advance his career in the right direction, in the direction that he wants it to advance. So this card just shows that he's not so sure about being a Bond person. And the potential card is the Nine of Pentacles, which shows a very high potential. So the potential shows that he does have a good potential. And the Nine of Pentacles is a card that the potential shows what does he need to do if he wants to win this card. The Nine of Pentacles is a card that speaks about getting earning a lot of money or earning what you deserve after working hard. So if he does want this part, he needs to work very hard to get it. So this is what this card is telling him. He needs to change his attitude, not change his perception that he doesn't want this card, start looking at his doubts and why does he think that this is not a good prospect for him, and start working hard to convince the studios that he does want this part, because the studios did not completely wipe him out of the list. They're still considering him. They still look at him as someone that is a possibility. But if he keeps on showing this kind of attitude, then they might take him off the list. So the Nine of Pentacles is telling him that if he wants that part, he needs to work hard for this. Okay, the next person is Sen Yuan. He's Scottish. Well, I know him as Jimmy Fraser from Outlander. He's also red-headed. So let's see what the cards tell about him. So I remind you that the studios are looking for a different approach. So let's see how Sen Yuan is adapting to this, or fitting what the studios are looking for. And we're getting the Six of Swords. Now, the Six of Swords has double meaning. The Six of Swords is a card of vacation, going to a vacation or coming from a vacation. But it is a card of someone who is, this is the second, let's say, success, or the second result in the suit of swords, and it is about a person that is in a way in a temporary situation, a person that is not resolving things, and he's going back and forth. So it doesn't look like he's very much adapting to what the studios are looking for. So he's not so much he's not so much what the studios are looking for. What does he want? Does he want this part or not? And we're getting the Three of Cups, and the Three of Cups is celebration. And that means that, yeah, he wants this part. He really does want it. Not the Nine of Cups or the Ten of Cups want it, but he does want it. It's the Three of Cups. It's the second, the first celebration in the Suit of Cups. So it's the first success, but it's still, he wants it. I don't know how bad he wants it, but he does want it. So if he does want it, he needs to start showing that. What does the future show us? And the future is the Ace of Goblets, the Ace of Cups, and that tells us that, yeah, this is this is a great card. This is a yes card. So if we are comparing the Ace of Cups to the Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups wins. This is a card of renewal, of flow in the material world. So if we're looking at his ability to renew his energies, to adapt to what the studios are looking for, yeah, he has that ability. So this is a good card. What is blocking him? What are his challenges? And we're getting the Page of Pentagrams. That's the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles, that is the clerk. That is someone who is very much good in everything that is connected to money and to work. and to being organized. But when it comes in the challenges, we're looking at the negative aspects of this card. So this is a card of someone who is a little bit coward, stubborn, is passive, afraid of change. So these are the things that are challenging him. So he will have to work on these things if he wants that part. So what does he need to do more in order to get that part? What is this potential the card says? And we're getting the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords is a card of worry and justified worry. So when we're getting this card in the potential, we need to look at the solutions for the Nine of Swords. Because the Nine of Swords is a card that says you have a lot to worry about. And he does have a lot to worry about because the studios are not seeing him right now as a person that is able to adapt to what they want. So the Nine of Swords is giving him actually the solutions or the advice of how to change in a way that the studios will start looking at him as a probable candidate. And the Nine of Swords is telling him to act logically, to get out of bed, not let his fears control him, not even enter into sick beds. That means not enter into probable sick or bad situations, to be very, very careful to make the right judgments and not wrong judgments, to not to meddle in dark affairs, to be very careful not to do things that are self-destructive, to be very careful on which choices he makes, and to see the difficulties and to deal with the difficulties, and not to close his eyes and to just mask his eyes from reality. So that is a card that is telling him you need to look at reality, you need to look at the things that are blocking you, and you need to act in a logical way in order to solve those things. So that's same Yuhan, and once again we're looking at the future card, and the future card is actually a good card. So if he works on his problems, he has a good chance to be picked. Now, once again, the I don't know who made those lists of probable candidates. I don't know if all of those people are being considered by the studios, but these are lists that come from all sorts of gossip magazines. Okay, the next person is Idris Elba, and Idris Elba is a person of color, and he is actually very, very famous. I saw him in The Wire, and he also played Nelson Mandela. I know that he talked about the fact that he got his chance after getting help from the Princess Trust. And he also played in movies by Marvel. So let's see how do the studios see Idris Elba. So Idris Elba is most definitely a change from previous James Bonds. So how do the studios see him as a possibility? And we get the Six of Wands. That's the Six of Wands. So this is a victory. So this is he's like the victory card for the studios. So when you think about it, he is a person of color. He's a very good, very good actor, and this is the change of narrative that they want. This is exactly what they need. They want to change a very different James Bond than the ones that they had. So for the studios, this is a winner. So they look at Idris Elba as a winner. This is the victory card for them. How does Idris Elba look at this part? Does he want it? And what we're getting here is the 10 of Wands. So not so much, because for him, this is an overload. This is way too much. He's not so keen on being a James Bond. So he's looking at it as something that is maybe not something that he wants it too much. Probably he has other things that he wants to do. This is a long-term commitment. Probably something that is limiting his abilities to enter other movies or other projects. So he's not so keen about that. So the studios do want him very much, but he's not so keen about it. The future card is the Hermit. So the Hermit is a major arcana. So major arcanas are always not so good when we're talking about potential, or we're talking about when we are comparing them to minor arcanas, because they are always in the spiritual realm. And the Hermit is a card of someone who is going away to think about the most important things of life. So this is not a person that is going to get a job and to do something that is earthly. This is very spiritual. So this is not a very good card for the future. The things that are blocking him in order to get this job is the 5 of Wands. So it's interesting because we get a lot of wands here, and the studios see him as the victory card, but what is blocking him is the 5 of Wands, which is the 5 of Wands is a card of getting that victory, but if you're getting that a non-conventional help from the side. And it looks like Idris Elba doesn't want that help. That is why he doesn't. That is because he's not very keen on the part to begin with. So that is why this is what is blocking him. Because if he had wanted that part, things would have been completely different, because the studios really want him. Okay, so the potential, if he wants to win this job, what does he need to do? And we're getting here the 3 of Wands. And that is interesting because here we have a lot of wands. And the 3 of Wands is a card that speaks about cooperation and recognition. So all he needs to do, if he wants to win this, if he wants to change the Hermit card into a winning card, is to cooperate with the studios, is to recognize the fact that the studios see him as a winning James Bond, and to realize that this is a great opportunity for him, and to go out and to cooperate with them. So this is what he should do if he wants that job. This is not a lot. This is only to cooperate with them. Okay. So it looks like they want him, but he doesn't want them so much. So let's see if we get a candidate that wants the job as much as they want him. So the next candidate is Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's also British. He also acted in Marvel movies and in Kick-Ass movies. So let's see what the cards tell us about him. And what we're getting about him is that the studios do see him as a dream come true. This is the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is about dreams that can become a reality. So they do see him as a good candidate. That is a dream that can become a reality. So yeah, they do see him as someone who can portray James Bond in the way that they think that is a good way. Does he want the job? And we're getting the Wheel of Fortune. So this is another major arcana. As I said, major arcanas are not so earthly. But for him, the Wheel of Fortune is a card of change. And it is a card that also said taking your destiny in your own hands. So he thinks about whatever will be, will be. He's let's say indifferent about it. So he thinks that it could be a nice change. He's not against getting that part, but he's not very enthusiastic about it. So he's not someone that is driving his agent crazy about asking the studios what's going on, why is it taking them so long to decide. But he is thinking about that it could be a good change for him. So he's trusting fate, let's say it that way. So what does the future tell us? And the future is the Star. So that's interesting because the Star card is another major arcana, but it is about being a star as well. So because the meaning of the Star card is also about being a star, let's put aside all of the other meanings of the Star card. It has a lot of other meanings about a Pandora box, about a lot of other things, but let's put it all aside. Here we see a man that is becoming a star. So because of that, I will give this extra power. Let's say that I will say that his prospects are better than, for example, James Norton that got the Queen of Pentacles in the beginning, but not as good as James Ewan that received the Ace of Cups. That up until now he still has the best card. Okay, so his challenges are strength. So that's interesting because that's another major arcana, and strength is about finding control within yourself. And if it comes in the challenges card, it means that he is finding it hard to find the control that he needs within himself. And it means that this is something that is hard for him. This shows insecurities. It shows that he has difficulties in self-fulfillment. And this could even show a tendency for addictions and letting others control him. So maybe that is why he is relying on this Wheel of Fortune, because he's not controlling his own destiny. And that is why he is letting others control him. That is why he's not controlling himself. Okay, so what does he need to do if he wants to that part? And we're getting the Queen of Blades. The Queen of Blades, that's the Queen of Swords. And that means that he needs to be more someone who is showing more care for his career, someone who shows more care for for social things, for the environment, but mainly someone who shows more care for his career, because the Queen of Swords is a career focused person.